Welcome into the cave.
What the heck was that?
That's the theme from LA Law.
Oh, well, why are we? Why LA Law? What are we talking about LA Law for?
Why silver spoons? I mean,
Well, because we're a couple of silver spoons.
I grew up with the LA Law.
Did
You never watched that growing up?
No. Lawyer shows never really gave it to me.
Okay. Well,
yeah. I don't know. But was that the one where one of the Partridge kids was in there? Susan Day? Was she in there?
I don't remember if she was in there. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, Chad.
Yeah, such a good show. You don't even remember who's on it. That's that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, hey, you're back from the District of Columbia.
I am back. Yes.
Yeah. So
caught up on the sleep, I think.
Did you? Okay. Was it a little tough?
It was. Yeah.
We 2 hours ahead, 2 hours behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Gabby? Good. She told me she had a good time. So
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I think for the most part they all did. Chaperones had a good time. Yeah, it was. Yep. Got to see what I wanted to see, and come Thursday afternoon, we sat down and said, "All right, anything else anybody wants to see?" I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I saw what I came to saw, and
you didn't get to see the Easter egg roll at the White House.
No,
yesterday.
They were setting up for it in the back of the White House. But
that's kind of cool. Anything like really, really, really stick out to you while you were there? Like something really good to eat, or just like, wow, I could sit here all day.
It had a really good steak at McCormick's.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, that was downtown.
Nice big ribeye.
But for the most part, I think, I didn't see any celebrities, didn't see any. Everybody was out of town,
Yeah.
So
was it because of Easter week? Is that why? That's probably why they scheduled
well,
it.
and of course they were on recess. They just passed their spending bills and all that stuff. So our 3 North Dakota representatives were all out of town.
Were they? Well, that's kind of
got to tour the Capitol, kind of a brisk tour of that. And then we were getting ready to leave. And this was I don't know, a lot, it's crazy. A lot of the people that work in DC are like in their 20s. It's all young people running around there in shirt and ties. Well, this kid was early 20s, and he showed us the stuff. So he came back, he sits down at his desk, and he goes, "Well, yeah, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it. Welcome to DC and have a safe flight home." And so, I said, "Do we get to see Kramer's office?" Or he goes, "Well, I don't know." I said, "Well, that's what we kind of came for. We want to see his office."
Yeah.
So he looked at the lady, goes, "Can we show him?" She's like, "Well, I suppose." Yeah. So we got to go, and I got us a little tour of Kramer's office, which was kind of cool. But
there you go. And the worst thing, you got to ask that stuff, man. I mean,
you do, and it's just like everybody just sent it like, "Okay, see ya." It's like, no, you know what? I came here to see something. The worst they can say is no.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, I tried to get onto the White House lawn, and there was, other than the 3 Dobermans and SWAT written on the front of these guys' shirts, I just thought, maybe I should just double back a little bit. And
those Dobermans smile at you, don't they? I mean, they're
welcome.
They're so welcoming. Come on in.
Yep. I did tell people I was going to get on the lawn on the White House, but I did not. I was this close. I was going to reach down and grab some grass through the fence. But
and that dog was going grrr, grrr. Yeah.
So I kept the grass in Washington. It was all green.
Well, there you go.
But
probably a good thing. And then you sent me that video of the unknown soldier. That was pretty cool. Watching that guy do his. That was.
Yep.
And then seeing all those veterans.
The 7-minute one.
No, you did not send me that one.
Oh, yeah. The changing of the guard was when I videoed that, and I don't know if that would send anyways through.
I think that'd be too big. Would give you goosebumps, or was it just kind of like, wow,
standing there at first, it's kind of like, wow, they do this 24 hours a day. And they said at 9/11, when that happened, obviously you could see the Pentagon from where we were at. I mean, Pentagon was just down the road, and to have a plane crash in no more than a mile away from you, they gave them permission to stop, but they didn't. He kept marching and changing the guard at top of the hour.
Wow.
But, like I told you, I said, I don't want to be a guy that knows nothing about history, but it's just like, I thought the Pentagon was way farther south from DC than what it was. I didn't think it was like right there.
Yeah.
You don't really realize it until you get there and you realize it's all one big community. All the memorials, all the monuments, the White House, everything is within.
So when you took off from the plane, could you see it all? Like, could you see the Pentagon and how it's shaped and all that stuff? Was that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Well,
That's
actually, from my hotel room, I could see the Pentagon. I found that out on Wednesday. I didn't realize it. Looking out, I could see the monument. And I'm like, I wonder what all those lights are for. That's kind of cool, you know? And then all of a sudden we came back Wednesday night and there's off to your left is the Pentagon. And one of the guys in the group goes, is that like the actual Pentagon? They're like, yeah, that's the actual Pentagon. So we had no idea we were driving by it every day.
That's cool. Yeah. So
crazy, but I have never really been a big history buff, never, but it was kind of cool to see everything. I thought the White House and the Capitol were closer than what they were. I didn't think they were across, as far away as they were, but
as they were. Gotcha. Yeah. And it was kind of funny because we were talking on the phone for a while there and you're like, the Washington Monument looks like it's right there, but it's not,
not.
You just keep walking and walking.
Well, we walked we ate it just south of the monument and all of a sudden one guy says, well, I'm going to go do this stuff. And I said, all right. I said, we were, the other chaperone and I walked to the Capitol to go to the house floor. You can go in there because we had a little invitation. So we went there and the Capitol's right there. We'll just go. Yeah. So we walked and we look at each other like, is it getting any closer? Because we've been walking for like 2 miles.
Yeah.
So we eventually did get there, and then of course, when you get there, you got to go all the way around the back. But yeah, we got to go into the house, and of course, you go in there. Of course, what do you want to do? Take pictures, right?
Right.
Well, they confiscated cameras, cell phones, everything.
No kidding. They won't let you
take a picture, even though they weren't in session. You could not take a cell phone in there to take a picture.
No,
security, I suppose.
I suppose. Who knows? But every time you went somewhere where you had to get not badged in, but go through like a metal detector and all that
stuff. For the most part, yeah. We got I know the Library of Congress, we had to get in there. We went by the way, I have a 2-year membership to the Library of Congress.
Well, there you go.
I look like a thug.
But do not let this guy in.
But do not let this guy into the. Looks better. It's better picture than my license picture, though. I can tell you that.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. It.
But I did have a shirt and tie on that day, and I was told. First one of the helpers for Kramer commented on my tie. I had a USA tie on.
Okay.
And he really liked it. I like thanks. But it was just kind of cool to be up there, and we got to stand up there and it says U.S. Senate. And I did get a comment from one person that I would make a good senator just to look, up here, probably not.
Yeah. I was going to say you could pull off the look.
Pull off the look. I could sit there, but as soon as they say, go ahead, Mr. Senator.
Yeah. Let's legalize the
gambling in North Dakota.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's bet on sport.
So I'm taking it Kramer, and when you say Kramer, I think of Seinfeld. So Kramer must be
Kevin Kramer. Yeah, Kevin Kramer. Yep, one of the representatives. Yeah,
I can see Kramer running around.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. So
I'm glad you had a good trip. That's pretty awesome that you got to do that. Yeah. So that's
took me 51 years to get to Washington, D.C.
And now will you go back? If Izzy goes, would you go back and do it again?
I was even talking about helping chaperone next year.
Okay. Well, right on.
And just kind of keep the program running. But I think every year, you're going to have enough family or moms and dads that'll chaperone
want to go. Yeah.
When their kids are going. I said, I don't. If there is a shortage, then I'll say, yep, I'll go. You bet.
Yeah. But, so I asked my kids because, Sam will be a senior next year. And I said, hey, you ever heard of Close Up? Huh? So I don't know. I remember Close Up when I was in school. And I don't know if.
Yeah, we never had that in our school.
I thought we went to just the state capitol up in Minnesota. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong. Maybe some people did go to Washington, D.C., but I remember having. And unlike, I love history and I love like all that sort of stuff. But when it gets into the politics of the world, I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. Just like, I don't.
Well, and we actually asked the guys that were there in place of the representatives.
Yeah.
We got to ask them a bunch of questions. So the kids were asking a bunch of questions, and one of the kids goes, as you get older, because these kids were in low 20s, maybe mid 20s. One guy was 27. He'd been there for 7 years, and they asked him, they said, now that you're getting all this experience, one of these days, are you gonna, go back home and, run for a seat? And he looked at them and went, no, not a chance.
Yeah.
They're like, why? There's like the stuff that these guys go through is, I mean, they've got that celebrity status, but they're also, everybody wants to talk to them. Everybody.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so when they get out, like Kramer leaves every weekend. He goes home every weekend.
So he flies back.
As they're done at Friday at noon or whatever,
Yeah.
he's on a plane. He's gone. He's back in North Dakota because he loves this spending time with the family. And
Right.
it would be, yeah. What do you do on a weekend in Washington, D.C. when you're not in session? Sit in an apartment? Do you go down the Ford Theater and go through that for the 27th time?
You probably, after being there for 6 months, you're probably like, yeah, it's time to go home.
Yeah,
But
time to go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's even, I think that for the city council, we lived close. We lived close to our first house where Becky and I lived in. The guy, Mark Bilderbach was his name. And I'm like, what's it like? Walking the dog. And he's like, people call me so-and-so's letting their dog poop in my yard and they don't clean it up. And this feral cats. And I'm just like, why would you put yourself into that? I mean, I
was on park board for 3 years. And
okay. I mean,
people call you like, that one park hasn't been mowed in 2 weeks.
Like,
I don't mow them, but I'll bring it up at the next meeting and make sure we stay on top of our,
See, that's where I'd be like, go freaking mow it then.
Yeah, exactly. Volunteer some time. Donate your time.
I would. Yeah, I'd probably get booted out. They would be like, this guy isn't what we need. I'd tell it like it is, though. That's the sad thing. So, well, pretty cool, man. That's pretty awesome. So, a lifelong memory made with your daughter. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like I said, hopefully we're able to get back down the road.
Take the whole.
Well, family. I did mention I sent the group text to the whole family, and I'm like, "Hey, Washington D.C. pretty cool. What about a vacation?" And Cheryl's like, "That'd be kind of a cool trip."
It sure would. It sure would. And you were told go in October or November because nobody's there, right?
Yep. October, November, and I mean, you're an hour from New York. Just jump on the train, man. And
here's D.C., the United States capital. Let's go to New York.
Well, but if you've seen everything, and you haven't seen everything, but when you see most of the stuff, it's like if you're there for 6 days, I'm taking a day probably to get up at 5 a.m, get to New York by 8, and do some stuff.
Yeah,
see, walk around.
Been there. Nah. New York.
Not a New York fan.
I don't ever need to go back. I will tell you, it did not make my top 6 list of what we were going to be talking about.
Oh, okay.
Top 6 list of favorite cities we visited. So, but all right. Well, hey, we've chatted a little bit about DC. You got a little music playing there in the background, right on.
Oh,
right
you
on.
hear that? Okay.
I could. Yeah.
So you're prepping our outro.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So, you want to talk about the NCAA brackets?
Yeah, we could do
That's
that.
what I put up there, and looks like do you know Sean Hanna? Looks like he's probably going to win it unless
he's still leading the way. He's
at 84. He works there.
Yeah.
All right. Then we got a Kate. Is it Kate Crawford? Do you know who that is? No. Okay. Well, he or she is in second, as well as your daughter Gabby is in second. So, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then after that, everybody else is done. So there's no way.
I don't know. I'm pretty close. I'm sitting in 5th, aren't I?
Yeah, but you can't score any more points.
Still sitting in 5th, buddy.
Yeah. So
I took a picture where I took the screenshot and I couldn't even get your name in there. You're so low.
So anyways, here we are. No, I told you.
Did you not hashtag today?
Yeah, I hashtagged a lot, and I did.
So what happened to the one day when we had 600 viewers?
Well, it's not as big a sports day as that's what it was those days.
Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday, and we started with NFL talk on that day. But
yeah,
people still listen. They now that Facebook won't let us go live for a couple more weeks. We're gonna have to keep taking our YouTube thing and putting it on our Facebook page so people can be drawn to it over there. So kind of a crazy. I don't know why Facebook did that. I mean, we've never done anything wrong that I know of.
Is it just us, or is it like
it's everybody? It's everybody. We were deemed not live worthy, and I don't know what that means. So maybe we didn't.
That hurts a little bit.
Maybe those 100 followers we had weren't listening long enough, or who knows. But so we'll get back on there. They said it's Facebook is just updating its stuff, and so we're going to kind of go from there. So you want to talk women's first? Because last night was like actually the first time I sat down and watched this year a women's game, and I watched Caitlin Clark and LSU play. And that was a pretty good game. I don't know, were you able to watch that, or were you and Izzy shooting hoops all night long?
No, well, we actually shot hoops afterwards.
Did you? Okay.
We got a tournament on Sunday, but yeah, Izzy,
okay.
Gabby and I were down in the basement and got to watch it. Pretty impressive. I mean, I watched some of her games this year, but I mean, when she's coming down, they're trying to stop her.
Yeah, they are.
Stops 30 feet out. And, you know, I was just talking to one of the guys in town here, and he comes down and shoots every once in a while with us. And it's like, yeah, you teach your kids how to shoot a jump shot straight up, you know. No, not Caitlin Clark. She's fading to the side, throwing it up, nothing but net. And it's just like, there's just no rhyme or reason how her shots are going in. It's just, she's chucking it up there. But when you practice that shot for 10 years,
right,
it's going to go in almost every time. So pretty good shooter. 9 3-pointers last night.
Yeah. And it was a good game up until about the last 3 minutes of the game. And then that last minute of the game, I think, took like 20 minutes, didn't it?
Well, yeah, it was in the bag, but it's like, but I was disappointed when Angel Reese fouled out. I wanted her to be on the court. You know, kudos to Caitlin Clark for not walking up to her. And
you knew that wasn't going to happen. There was both teams played a pretty good game. They both handled themselves well, and they've had those things in the past. But good games. So coming up in the women's,
I do have a request for ESPN.
Okay,
and anybody that puts footage of sports on there, we don't care to see the coach. I really don't. I seen that coach, what's her name, Malarkey or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
How many times did they show her? And it's just like, I know she's part of it too, part of the entertainment.
She is outspoken, so they like that. They want to see her go off on a tirade or something like that and scream and all that sort of stuff. It's no different from when Bobby Knight was on there, buddy.
Right?
You know, they were waiting for Bobby Knight to explode. She's exploded a couple times, and so it's, you know, I'm with you on that. They showed her quite a bit,
and they didn't show the other coach very. I mean, they showed her a little.
They showed her once in a while. I mean, but
seemed like every time up the floor they'd flip to her. While there'd be a bucket made by Clark, she'd turn around and chew out one of the girls on the bench. It's like, that's not doing nothing. Turn around and say, hey, she did something wrong there, or whatever. Chew the girl out that just got burnt by Caitlin Clark. But there's coaches around North Dakota that do that. They'll be coaching, and all of a sudden there'll be one of the girls will make a mistake, and they'll turn around and chew one of the girls out on the bench for what she did down in the court. Now, don't do that. It's like, well, we know that.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. I would say like Lily's coaches for her soccer, like what she's playing now. When we were in Phoenix, she never came out. Lily played all the games every single minute. And I'm like, how did you like that? And she's like, I love it. And you know, but I did see her coach after the game kind of grab her, and they went and kind of, you know, he kind of one-on-one a couple of girls that played the whole game and just kind of told them, you know, hey, this is what we need to work a little bit on this and this.
And they need that. They need the
yeah. But like in high school, her coach, like when they sub out, her coach would go up to each and every player and just kind of talk to like them for like a minute and kind of, you know, you can see them moving their hands and talking or something. Yep. So to me, that's good stuff. They don't ever yell like at the other players or anything like that. So, doesn't get you much because you know, don't do that.
You don't ever want to bring them to tears.
Yeah, for sure. But all right. Well, so the Final Four is set, and we are going to pick the winners of the women's bracket.
All of the teams that we have right here are not on our pick sheet.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. Our sheet. Yeah, I didn't do the women's at all because I didn't know enough, and then I figured if I enter something, and I just I did well enough in the men's bracket to prove that I sucked. I didn't need to show. I didn't need to show how bad I was in the women's bracket. So.
You might have probably picked the perfect bracket.
Could have been. Maybe. So
Who knows?
First game, we got South Carolina versus NC State. Number 1 seed versus the number 3 seed.
Yeah,
and I actually
South Carolina's going to dominate that one.
So okay, I picked NC State. I just thought, what the heck?
Now, folks, there's a pattern with Chad here. Now, just
hey, you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. You're giving up my stuff here, brother.
Now, Iowa. I got Iowa.
You got Iowa winning. I got UConn winning, and let me tell you why I got UConn winning. Because Paige Beckers is a Minnesota graduate, so I just thought it would be kind of cool.
She's pretty good. She's
good.
She's getting famous like Caitlin Clark.
Yep, and she's had a couple of injuries, and so it'd be nice to see her win something. So I took UConn to win that game.
Okay,
and then I took UConn to win it overall. All. Yep. So who do you got win it all? You got South Carolina versus Iowa.
In the brackets, I have South Carolina over Iowa.
Okay.
And I'm going to stick with that. Izzy has South Carolina over Iowa. Or no, Iowa over South Carolina, excuse me.
Yep.
And I don't know if Gabby did a bracket in the women's. So Izzy's 8th and I'm 9th in the standings.
Okay. Gotcha. You still have a good chance of winning that one?
I don't think Gabby picked one. I'm sitting. Most I can score is 323. Izzy can score 330. There's a couple. There's one 432. If UConn wins, then I think I'm done.
Okay.
So, which I should still be alive then, because UConn's not going to win because Chad Decker picked
them. That's.
So you have.
Take it to the. I got it totally opposite of what you got.
So you have UConn
winning the women's Final Four.
Okay. We
jump
over to the men.
National champions. So.
Yes.
So the men, we really didn't talk about the bracket the whole way through because I was gone and you were gone. And so nothing really crazy. The only thing, North Carolina State going against Purdue here. And
you got 2 big boys. One tall, lanky guy and one tall, big guy.
Yeah. And so I'm going to take North Carolina State to beat Purdue to go to the final game. Kind of a Jim Valvano kind of, hey, here we are again type of a thing.
And I got Purdue winning.
You got Purdue winning that. Okay.
And I also have UConn winning.
And you got okay, and I got UConn beating Alabama. So I have UConn beating North Carolina State, which is the same way I've got it down in the women's bracket. So
that would be crazy if that actually happened.
Both men and women's champions will be the UConn Huskies. And just FYI, the Minnesota State Mankato here in Minnesota, both of their men's and women's team just won the national championship for like the D3. Both of them. Like one day the girls won, and then the next day the boys won.
How many teams are in that tournament? Is that the 18?
No, it's like the whole. It's kind of like the March Madness, but just in the D3.
Was it the Minnesota State tournament?
Yeah, no. It was like nationwide. So they both won it. So I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it with the big.
Well, I got Purdue beating UConn in the final. So I got South Carolina for the women, Purdue for the men.
A Big Ten team, huh?
Yep.
I didn't think Purdue would make it this far, but
there was talk about 4 months ago. Somebody came out and said Purdue will win the national championship. I remember that.
Yeah,
I looked at them going, I don't know. Then they were the 1 seed, so no, we'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna take because I listen to sports on the TV and that just while I'm working. I'll just kind of have it on the TV. And somebody said, watch out for North Carolina State. They're going to be sneaky. And I was like, okay, well, let's see how far I can get them.
Watch out for North Carolina is what they said.
No. Because I already had North Carolina rolling through and I knew I was going to pick them. But I don't know. Yeah. So nothing. I mean, just hoping for good games and all the teams have fun. Go sports ball.
Well, you're Europe.
Well, I have no money in it, so it doesn't matter to me. You know,
I hear you.
You've already beat me in the other one, so I can't really. I
I
mean,
think this is like what the second contest now that I've kind of wiped the floor with your pick sheet, or
like NCAA or what?
well, the college football. I kind of had my way with you there.
Yeah, that wasn't that bad. What are you talking about? I came.
Well, I was up 8 at one point, and then I kind of let you back in.
That's right. I forgot.
But you never did.
Let me. You let me back in.
Yeah, and same here, NCAA. It's like you were flapping the jaws after like the first day. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you?
The cream rises to the top.
Yep.
Yes. Well, there's 2 letters I got for you.
That'll go on my headstone, buddy.
Yeah. There's 2 letters I got for you, and I will tell you those after we get off.
2 letters. Oh,
yeah.
Is that a U and a F?
No, it's a F and an O. Is what it is.
All right, good deal.
And then
I could
probably add 2 more to it as FODS.
Top 6 cities we've visited.
Okay, gotcha.
Should we do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, I've got, before we get into it too far, I'm going to bring up some honorable mentions.
Okay, you can certainly do that.
I've got Rochester, Minnesota, and
Hey!
Loveland, Colorado. My
There
2
you
honorable
go.
mentions.
There you go. And for my honorable mentions, I actually have Heidegger, North Dakota. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool up in there. Been there twice.
To where?
Where you live.
Oh, didn't hear you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. And then been to Starkweather a couple times too. Pretty cool little town. Not a whole lot to do in Starkweather, but you can go there and have a good night with a really awesome family.
Right.
If you're lucky.
Airbnb there.
That's right. That's right. So, all right. So you want to start with your number 6? We'll talk about it.
My number 6. And I don't think I like it because of the city, but we went in there, saw a 3-game series in LA, had some good memories with my boys sitting in left field, seeing a back-to-back home runs, and enjoyed LA. Didn't enjoy LAX that much, but LAX was just way too much for me.
Yeah.
But LA, I think, not a town that I would probably visit every year, but it's kind of cool just kind of visiting, seeing it. And
LA didn't make my top 6, buddy. My number 6, it's about a 5-hour drive from Rochester here, and it's Chicago. I've just been there with my parents. I've been there with some buddies, and just recently in the last 10 years, my family, we've been down there a couple of times, and we're actually thinking about going later this year. And so we've just had we've had a lot of fun down there. The food's great. Just a lot of fun things to do. So Chicago, Illinois.
Met her on the way to Chicago.
Is that your number 5?
that's my number 5. Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
I was going to get it ready. And then you said you're 6. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, that's my number 5. We went there for our honeymoon and saw a lot of stuff.
Yeah. A lot of it's a pretty cool place. It's pretty special.
Still got to get there for a football game. Jacob sent me a text about 3 days ago.
Yeah.
He goes, Dad, we need to go to Chicago and watch the Bears this year.
So do you want to go to like an early one, or do you want to go when it's like super cold and you're all bummed?
We'd be early, Chad. We like early September.
But you're from freaking North Dakota. Chicago doesn't get as cold as it does in North Dakota.
I think it gets worse, doesn't it?
No. It's just the wind, and it's not that. Yeah. So this one's going to surprise you because my number 5 city to visit, and people are like, "What?" But I don't know if you've ever been to Omaha, Nebraska, but there is a lot to do with the family.
I don't think I've been in Omaha.
Oh,
may have went through it, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. We went a couple years ago from our neighbors. Just said, man, just go to Omaha, because we were kind of thinking we had like a 4-day break from school, so we went to Omaha, and it was amazing. There was tons of stuff to do. Tons. Really? Yeah, it was just crazy. So,
writing that down, Omaha.
Nebraska.
Could go down there for the World Series.
Well, the World Series was like a couple. Yeah. So we were actually out of school, but Becky had some time off. And I think we were going to go to like Duluth, but there was forest fires up there. So we decided to go to Omaha to get out of the smoke. And there was like a huge water park for us. And so all 4 kids like left us. And like, we're going here. It's like, okay. And then all of a sudden it was like, I saw a guy and he's like, there's an adult part of the water park over here. So we go over there.
Really?
Wow. There was no kids. So it was a swim up bar. Becky and I swam up. She had a couple ciders, I had a couple beers. And it was pretty cool.
And
Pretty
Omaha's only 8.5 hours from here. It's like
yeah.
same as the Minneapolis. So
Yeah. It was a pretty good time. So that's my number 5.
okay. This is my number 4. Never heard this song. He might say the song name or the city name in it right away.
All right.
Every time I beat my demons, know the one's waiting.
Yeah,
Every time
it's not gonna say it probably.
Okay.
Deadwood, South Dakota.
Okay.
You ever been there?
Driven through there. Yes.
And when are you guys coming out for graduation?
It's in May, but I don't know
Right,
what day.
what are you doing
We're
like
waiting. Well, we're waiting for Becky's nursing schedule to come.
Oh,
out,
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, depending on when we leave. So
We could make a day trip to Deadwood.
we could probably do that. So my number 4 is along the lines of Deadwood, and I'm going to say Las Vegas. So just been there a couple times. Last time I was there was for my niece's wedding, and again, just a man who's in his 50s shouldn't stay up all night long.
No.
But it's almost impossible not to when you're in
Yep,
Vegas because
exactly.
there's just so much going on. And it was, So that's my number 4, Vegas.
All right. My number 3 is Washington, D.C. I got to throw that on there since
There you go. Yeah.
It was cool. Definitely cool. We talked about it earlier. So Washington, D.C. is my number 3. My number 2 is Las Vegas. So you kind of stole that from me, but
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So,
that's okay.
my number 3 is San Francisco. And we really been there twice with Becky, and then a third time with Becky and the kids. And this is more about the food, Nolan. It was so good. And the last time we went there was for Becky's 29th birthday, and the kids were with. And we went to Chinatown for the Chinese New Year, and they had a big parade, and it was just wow. There's just again so much to do.
yeah.
The food was fantastic. The kids had a blast. It gets a bad rap because there's a lot of homeless people, but they all kind of keep to themselves in that little area. And
That's kind of how DC was. They said there's a lot around. You see a few of them, but
yeah,
they have like homeless camps there.
And they have that here in Rochester, Nolan. They have like a homeless encampment, and then the city comes and boots them out and they go somewhere else. So, that's a whole other topic of mental health and people. And it's just like my kids, we drove through that area. It's called Tenderloin, and they were like, holy cow. And I think they realized, you know what? Life's pretty good.
Life's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that in LA too. It's just like kids are like, wow, Dad. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
you got it pretty good right now.
Right on. And so that was kind of and I think it affected Lily Rose the most because she was like, I want to see homeless people. And she was all excited and she saw how they were and she was like, holy cow. So
Yeah.
it's a good thing.
It's
to
kind
see.
of a sad. I mean, it's
It's sad, but a good thing. It's like, now don't be so like,
Yeah.
But again, teenagers, that's what they are. So, and you already said your number 2. You
Yep.
said Vegas. Yep. So mine is, and this is just, I went there because of work, and it was Manila over in the Philippines. And I have to tell my story why I think it was cool. When I was there, Barack Obama was there visiting, and he was the sitting president at the time. And my boss at the time, his name was Michael Henry, and he is a 6'5" African-American man. And we went on business. And so we were all dressed up. We had our suits and ties on, and we were doing like this recruiting for hospitality world. We could bring students over and they would work with us. And our guide was like, we pulled up to this place and we got out of like a kind of like a Mercedes-Benz limousine type thing. I mean, they threw everything at us and people were like waving, and we went in and we ate. And our guide said, yeah, people out there are thinking you, as in me, is someone famous, and that Michael, my boss, is my bodyguard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So we went back out, and because Obama was like close by, and so we went back out, and we're walking together, and I wave at everybody, and they start, and so we get into this van, Mercedes van, and my boss is like, "You're such an ass."
Oh hell, I'd have lived. I would have been over and signed autographs.
Yeah, and I was
You scribble enough. You don't need to do your name.
yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, I thought that was kind of funny that they thought I was somebody important. I don't know.
No, maybe
So-
you were.
Yeah.
Didn't know it.
Well, I waved at them, and they were that was pretty funny. And I got to hit a golf ball into a volcano there, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't go get it, right?
It was a
Obviously.
long way down, buddy. It was a long way down.
No.
So, and the water I probably wouldn't have retrieved it because the water would have burned me up. The water was
Yep.
boiling, bubbling, boiling. So
There you go.
all right. Well, I'm gonna guess your number one city. If you want to guess my number one city that we
Well, I have a
visited.
1A and a 1B.
Oh, do you? Okay. Well,
My
let's
1B is Starkweather.
okay, gotcha.
That's my hometown.
That's your hometown.
So visit
then-
if you can. Leave a donation at the step of the.
At
I don't know if
the,
they have much there anymore. But my number. I'm gonna guess yours is Balta.
I'm 100% Balta is my favorite town
Okay,
that I've ever visited. Is that your 1B then?
that's my 1A.
okay.
1B
got it.
was Starkweather. 1A.
Well,
is
okay.
Balta. Yeah. We visited Balta. Had some good grub.
Yeah, we had a good time there.
Yeah.
People are riding electric bikes outside. And,
Oh yeah, and fast.
Yeah,
I was waiting for one to like.
well, they had a
No.
few adult beverages in them, as did we.
Yeah.
So we were kind of thinking like this
I
could
think
happen.
we both know first aid and CPR, so we're.
Well, we had Nurse Becky with us too. So that
that's
would've
true.
been
That's
fine.
true. Yeah, Becky would trump both of us, so we just
Yep.
stand back and.
We could have just went and got ourselves another Busch Light. We would have been fine. So
Yeah.
it's not much of a city, but they got one hell of a bar. You can go in there and you spin a wheel and just have a good time.
Yep. And you walk in and the waitress knows you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of nice. Knew my first name and everything.
Wow. Well, you actually did know her though, right?
Well, actually, we did. Yeah. After.
Yeah.
she said it,
Yeah,
like,
after she-
wait a second.
Yeah. Because little story of that, we had Con the Bond. We were there first. Becky and I and Noah, our oldest son, were there first, and we talked to bartender. I don't remember what we tell her say. Noah, get the hell out of here. What
Yeah,
was
something
it?
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't say it quite like that, but I looked at
Yeah.
her like, what? Yeah. Then I looked at you right away. You had that shit ass and grin on your face. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Hey.
I get it. I get it.
Oh, we had a good time. We had a good time there. So, if you ever get the chance, if you ever close to Rugby, North Dakota, you got to get to Bolton, North Dakota. Go have a beer. Say,
go
tell them,
Go sell.
tell them Decker and Dick sent you, and they will know what's up.
Yeah,
will
they
know
might
what's
give
up.
you a drink, but I doubt
They
it.
might give you a drink. Well, I bought a. We went there for Christmas time too. I went with Becky's sister and husband and all that stuff, and bought a bar. Bought the whole round. Let me try this again. Bought the whole bar a round of drinks. And it was probably like 15 people in there. It
Oh,
only
really?
cost me-
Oh.
yeah, it only cost me like $45. I'm like, all right, So
Yeah. I did that once in Beulah. I won a big pull tab.
yeah.
And I'm like, all right, get everybody a drink. And I look
Yeah.
around, there's 6 people in the bar. So
And you're like, big spender.
you go down on Main Street and say, Dick's just bought the whole bar
Yeah.
around.
That's right. That's right. So, well, there you go. Hopefully, maybe you visit some of the cities we've been to. Maybe you haven't. But we're gonna talk a little baseball today too. Is that what I was
Yep,
told?
I've been yawning
Okay.
all morning. Sorry.
Yeah, you're tired. You're getting old, buddy. Going to bed at these late hours.
I know.
You can't hoot with the Owls and expect to soar with the Eagles the next morning, buddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that tattooed on my right bicep. Can't hoot with the owls.
And you got to get it on one and then get the other one and say soar
Yeah,
with
there
the
you go.
Eagles. There you go. So,
I already
all
have
right.
thunder and lightning, so
If the Thunder don't get you, the Lightning will.
yep.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, I'm interested to see your top 6 in the baseball. We're going to do a little baseball preview next week.
Yeah, so
Didn't
there's
have a
been
whole
about
lot
a week of baseball.
week of baseball going on. So I'll start. I got my number 6 team, and I hate doing this, but I put the Yankees at number 6. Started
okay.
out 5-0.
Yeah.
Pretty dang good. I hope they falter. I'm not a Yankees fan, but that's my number 6 team.
All right, my number 6, Phillies. Phillies are my number 6.
Number 6, gotcha.
Yep.
My number 5, I got the Twins at 2-1. Had some pretty good pitch outings to start, but then on Sunday they got kind of shelled a little bit. So, but they're my number 5.
My number 5, Toronto.
The
Blue Jays.
There you go. Okay. Number 4, got the Brewers, 3-0 start, doing pretty well. So I got them as my number 4.
The Milwaukee Brewers. Yeah, I've got them. Well, we're going to do our divisional previews next week.
Next week, yes, sir.
So I was kind of messing with them a little bit. I don't think I have them winning anything, but I know they were kind of on my radar.
So the Brewers are sneaky. The Brew Crew's always a sneaky team.
So are we at 4?
You're at 4.
All right, I got the Rangers.
Rangers
3
at
and
4.
1.
Yep, I got them at number 3, kind of the old, the champions there. So I put them at number 3. Your number 3 is?
Well, a team that's 3-1 right now, Atlanta Braves. They're going to stay up near the top all year. So
okay, I had them. I was going to put them in over the Twins, but I'm a Twins guy, so I couldn't do that. My number 2, I put the Dodgers at 5-2. They played a series against the Padres over in Japan, right? Isn't that what that was?
Yeah.
So I got them as my number 2.
Well, you got them at 2, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. I have number 2. I put the Yankees.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sensing a World Series appearance for the Yankees.
Are you really? Okay. I hope not. Do you? Do you want that?
Oh, I'd love to see the Dodgers pound the Yankees in the World Series.
Woo.
Well, that would be my number 1 right now. Would be the Dodgers.
The Dodgers. Okay. So for my number 1, and this is probably not going to happen anymore this year unless they have a really good season, is the Pirates. And they're 5-0 to start out, and they won all 5 games.
The Pirates were, but I was like, yeah.
They won all 5 on the road, buddy. That's beginning of the season, and these lineups are going to change, and teams are going to come up, teams are going to fall off. We'll see. I feel bad for the Twins and Royce Lewis. The guy comes out, hits a freaking home run in his first at bat, hits a double in his second at bat, and then gets hit by the ball in the quad, and he's out for a month.
Oh,
Twins just have crap
no luck. You have
no
luck.
Yeah.
No luck.
So, but they're bringing up a younger stud again to see how he can do. So hopefully we can do with that. All right. Yeah. So, Friday, are we going to have a guest? Did she confirm or not?
Well, she's been kind of hee-hawing, so I don't know.
Okay. So we'll
At first, she was like, yeah, I'd love to do it. Then it was like, I told her what time we did it. She goes, yeah, I work. Sorry. I said, what's a good time frame for you? And crickets.
She probably watched it and said, we don't want to go on with it.
Yeah, exactly. She's a huge Viking fan. I told her, I warned her. I said, hey, I'm a Bears fan, and my buddy's a Viking fan. So I'm not going to come on and bash you.
Yeah.
But, she is one of the top Viking fans I've seen on X. So
she's an everyday poster is what she is.
Yep. Sometimes too much, but
yeah, I would agree. Did I see something? The Vikings suspended their offensive coordinator.
Suspended him?
Yeah, unless it's an April
first 8 games or what?
Well, I don't know. Unless it's an April Fool Days joke.
Well, you know Kirk Herbstreit, right?
Yep.
Right now, I'm telling you this, because I had the Bears twice. When they made that trade and they got a lot better on the defensive side, when Sweat came over and the secondary got healthy, I'm telling you, everybody expected Eberflus to get let go middle of the year. The guy had an energy about him. His team responds to him. You better get on the Bears right now. You better get on the Bears. And I'm not a Bears guy. I don't know anything about. I don't care about the Bears. I'm just saying they are the Detroit Lions from a couple years. Like they're coming. The Bears are coming.
Get ready.
And that was on what? McAfee?
That was on McAfee. Yep.
Yeah.
But then McAfee's next sentence was, just remember, don't do that. No.
I'm just saying hang loose.
Yeah, hang this.
Wow.
But look at our division. Our division is probably the most loaded up division in NFL.
Agreed. So, Vikings have suspended offensive coordinator Wes Phillips for 3 games without pay following the legal resolution of a 2023 traffic stop in Minneapolis. Don't remember it? Yeah, don't remember it.
No.
I thought like yesterday when I signed on, and I knew it was April Fool's Day, so I was like, okay, what are we gonna
Yep.
see? And we
You
saw
see
that.
the same post every day. It's like, hey, Vikings are trading for
Well,
number
that's
3 pick, and it's like people put that on there every day. And then I seen one yesterday. I'm like, stop with this. It's April Fools. I'm like, yeah, but you idiots put it on every day.
yeah.
Like it's gonna happen. They want to be the one to post something stupid and it happens and go, I told you.
Well, yeah, that's I had this right. Look. So, but all right. So, well, Friday, we're just about ready to roll out today.
Yep.
Because I actually do have to work. I think you do too, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. You don't have a name today. What's wrong with you, boy?
Couldn't think of one.
Okay. You could put the Dicks if you wanted. And you know that I've never been to Freddy's bar, and we're going to tell that story someday. So here's our mock draft, our first one right here. We're going to do another one on Friday. We could do the 2.0 after kind of free agency's kind of been all taken care of now. We're going to see what happens. So you going to be ready for that by then? You got till Friday, buddy.
You got the Friday to do how many picks we doing? 9?
Well, it's just we'll do through 12.
Through 12. Oh,
yep.
Okay.
That's what we did last time.
Okay.
And we'll see who's moved up and who's moved down and who's moved where. So
all right. Sounds
all
good.
right.
We'll enjoy March Madness. We'll actually be talking
before
Friday
then.
that the girls play that night.
Do they? Okay. Yeah.
I believe it's on Friday.
It should be a good time.
And the men play
Be some
Saturday,
games.
championship Monday.
Gotcha. All right. You're bringing us out, right? Is that what I was told? You shut off your volume.